Welcome, welcome to the Veterans Growing America podcast. I am Simmons. I'm here with my illustrious co-host, Donnell Johns, and we have another special guest for you today. We have Miss Avis Savage. She is the founder and CEO ASIC Strategies for Life, an Army veteran. Welcome to the show, young lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
Avis, it's so good to have you on the podcast. You know, I know you, but the audience wants to get to know you. Can you tell them a little bit about you and your military experience and background?
Sure. First of all, thank you for the invitation. I sincerely appreciate it. Again, my name is Avis Savage. I'm an Army veteran. I did 8 years of active duty service. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I accumulated a lot of experience and met a lot of great people while I was in the military. So it was a very positive thing for me. Since I've been out of the military, my background has been in an appraiser and now in wealth accumulation for individuals. So Darnell and I met at VGA, and I had an opportunity to set up at one of his locations, and we communicated, found out we knew each other when we were in the military. So that kind of strengthened, whatever our bond or whatever. He's been very helpful. The VGA is very, very good at helping young entrepreneurs get started and supporting them, and I appreciate VGA for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about how your time in the military influenced your journey into entrepreneurship?
Well, in all honesty, I was pretty much an entrepreneur before I went in the military. I just have always wanted to, always wanted to go in. I had planned on going in the military in the delayed entry program, but that kind of got thwarted, and then I went later on in life. Excuse me. Um, like I said, entrepreneurship has always been a part of me. That was one of the reasons why I enlisted, was to allow me to use the GI Bill so I could become a real estate investor. So being in the military has exposed me to a lot of things and kind of brought me to where I am now in helping individuals understand their finances. I can't hear.
So you said that, before you joined the military, you were an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So where did you get that entrepreneurial bug? Where did that come from?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I really don't know. I've always been into being an independent business owner. In fact, when I was in high school, I know some may or may not know, I was a direct distributor for Amway. And I had not even graduated from high school. I gave up basketball in order to pursue that. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Yes, I was spinning circles when I was in high school. That's what it was called. You spin your circles. You did your presentation for SAH and LOC, which were their two largest products. It's probably still one of their two larger products. They're known for the SAH and LOC. They've, of course, branched out into other things, but yeah.
And then from there, you joined the military after that, or what was that transition like into entrepreneurship? I mean, from that, and then what was next when it came to entrepreneurship?
The next thing I did prior to coming into the military was I've always had a crochet business on the side, so I did that as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Tell us a little bit about ASIC Strategies for Life, that's unique business proposition.
So ASIC Strategy for Life was developed because um, I'm a woman of a certain age, right? So I was looking at retirement And I began to say, okay, what do I need to do to prepare? Right. And I was really shocked by what I did not know. Right. So once I learned the path of what I should be doing in order to prepare for retirement and just accumulate wealth and protect my assets, I decided that I would become a licensed person in order to do that and assist other people in learning what to do and how to manage things and prepare for retirement in general.
So what is some of your favorite I know you said that you're in financial services. Uh Give us a little class real quick on if I was a person that didn't know anything about finances. Give me some, some key things that you would recommend to someone that's just now starting out in the finance industry.
Just starting in the industry or just people in general?
People in general.
People in general. I think the one thing that I've learned in my journey doing this is that people don't have a good hold on their finances. They don't know what's coming in their house. They don't know where it's going. They because fortunately I've I mean I deal with a lot of people, right? But I deal with a lot of upwardly mobile people. So they have disposable income. They're not so uh living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not trying to be funny. So for them to spend something, it's nothing for them, right? But a lot of them do not know where their money is going. They're not aware of what they're paying in interest. They're not aware of the type of debt that they're in, what they need to do to get out of that, what they need to do to prepare for retirement. That what they have is not necessarily a retirement vehicle, it's a way to accumulate money. They're not aware of what the tax situation is going to be on these deferred tax savings plans, 401, 403, 457, things of that nature. Uh, the first thing I can tell people to do is know what your finances are. What are you invested in? Do you have old 401ks? Do you only have a 401k for retirement? Because that's something that's going to be taxed. And there, you need to know how that is going to relate to your Social Security. You're going to need to eventually know how that's going to relate to your Medicare and Medicaid. So another thing too is there are three principles that I like to talk about: compounding, leveraging, and dual purposing. Because people are not aware that if your money is sitting in the bank, it's working for the bank, it's not working for you. In order for you to accumulate wealth, money needs to grow, it needs to move. And having it sit in a bank safely is not really benefiting you, right? If you look at what the average rate of return on a savings account is, we're talking about what, 1%? Let's say 2. Let's say high yield is 5, right? But oftentimes, what is our inflation rate and how does that cut into your savings if you're not doing something to really build, right? So know what your finances are and aren't doing for you. Know what compound interest is, because if the old in the financial industry, there's this thing that for compounding interest is one of the 8 wonders of the world, right? If you're not paying it, if you're not earning it, you're paying it. So you need to be on the side of earning it, right? Leveraging your money, using other people's money in order to generate money for you. You know, everybody says that debt is bad. Not all debt is bad, right? If your debt is built on asset producing things, your debt is good. If your debt is just built on credit cards because you like things, and don't get me wrong, I understand you work hard and you like things, right? But these things are not going to prepare you to live the rest of your life if all you're doing is spending your money on wasted things that are liabilities that are not assets. A lot of people don't know that their home is not necessarily an asset. You know what I'm saying? Anything that is not paying you back and not earning you cash, right, is a liability. So we work and we save so much to get our homes, but we don't know how to use them as an asset. All right. Debt interest is the quickest way to get yourself to a point where you can really accumulate wealth.
I love that. Deeply, right up my alley. I love it. Uh, what type of services do you offer to clients?
Okay, so I'm a licensed independent broker for insurance. Okay. So I help individuals understand how to accumulate wealth, how to protect that wealth, and how to prepare for retirement. So vehicles for families like, excuse me, everybody talks about index universal life. Well, it's the reason why they talk about index universal life policies because the sad thing that people don't realize is insurance is a wealth building vehicle. Okay. It is not just meant for a legacy. You can use insurance because it's under a special tax code 7702 that allows you to accumulate wealth in a tax free and a penalty free environment. So that is what I usually operate in. Most of the vehicles that I offer are under that tax code.
I love it.
Okay.
So I love that you shared that, but when we had a class, there was another vehicle that you were talking about, because I brought up to you the IUL when it came to um, what is it called? Be your own bank. But you was like, hold on, there's another one.
There are several. There are several strategies, right? These are strategies. It's called reverse banking. So one of the presentations that I did for you, I showed you I showed you how the bank uses your money and then how you can use that money to accumulate wealth yourself, to empower yourself. There's another term, another strategy, infinite banking, right? That's where you become your own bank. You take over your finances. You perform the banking for yourself. Okay. Be your own bank is, excuse me, you're talking about B2B. Being able to actually invest in commercial projects and get a very hefty return on that investment.
Well, this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff. And, we're speaking to, both of you guys' wheelhouse. What made you get into this industry? Why was it, I know you talked about it before, but why was it so inviting to you?
Because I I didn't know what I didn't know until it was time for me to almost retire. When I figured that out, I knew there were many other people in my same circumstance. I worked with them, right? And for much of the things that I do now, even today, when I do consultations, people are like, well, if these things are available, how come they're not really talked about? I can't answer that question, but they are there. And I enjoy the opportunity to work with younger individuals. I work with everybody, don't get me wrong, right? But I enjoy the opportunity to work with younger individuals so they don't run into the same obstacles that we run into as we get older and we did not know for lack of knowledge. And for older people like myself, when I came to this knowledge, to be able to help them move through and prepare better for retirement.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. I've been in retirement now for the last 10 years, which is
Yeah,
good.
for real, for real. Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me one of those things that you're sitting down with a client that you're most shocked to hear about what's going on with their finances?
I'm gonna be honest with you. What really shocks me is like I said, the affluent having no clue of what is out there because you look at people and you say, you know, this person does this and this person does that. Like you just assume that they know, but they don't know. I'm working with several people right now. There's a worksheet. I do a free consultation, first of all, because I think you cannot make an educated decision without having all of the information, right? So when I do a free consultation, I do a full presentation. We sit down, we talk about your finances. Where is your money? Right? And based on that, I'll come back and we can discuss. Now, I'm not a pushy person, right? But based on what you tell me that your goals are, I will make suggestions, and of course, you as the client will decide what you need to do if you need to do anything. But I pride myself on educating people because that is what I feel is missing in society is financial education.
So let's transition a little bit to um, what. So you spent 8 years in the military.
Yes.
What did you learn from the military that you transferred over to the business world?
Ah, organization. Organization. What that is one that that's one of the things that I think the military is very good in teaching is organization and discipline, right?
Right.
Um, I brought that over, and, I always been a love for people, so I can't really say that. Um, but organization and discipline, I think those are the 2 things that I really would say the military really helped me out and helps me even right now.
You don't have a business, you have a job.
Exactly. Exactly,
Exactly.
exactly. I agree.
Operating in your business, and you take a step back and see who you are. What is your superpower?
My superpower, um, m the ability my I think my superpower is my ability to communicate with pretty much anybody. I can walk up and I can start up a conversation with anyone, and I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy learning about their cultures and their backgrounds and things of that nature. So I think my superpower is kind of like just being a people person and having genuine interest in how individuals are.
Yeah, I concur with that. I've seen you have a real interest in people, and you really do care about people, and do care about supporting them and trying to help them get where they need to be. Uh, and it translates. So I love that.
Thank you.
I do want to ask another question
Mhm.
about Veterans Growing America.
Yes.
So we pride ourselves in our culture and making sure that it's a safe place for entrepreneurs. Can you tell people about your experience with Veterans Growing America?
Of course. My experience with Veterans Growing America is the camaraderie, the support. I don't think you will well, excuse me, stop. I have found that in another organization that I've been affiliated with. From the first day that I set up, all of the vendors there were very helpful. They were very knowledgeable. They were willing to share their knowledge and to be of assistance. There were other, I don't want to say, let me see. there were other incentives like, what was the website, Darnell, that
The
we
directory?
the directory and the membership and things of that nature. So Veterans Growing America is a very unique organization in that it was built to help veterans, right? And um, it's just been my experience that they are very supportive of the veterans that are part of VGA or veterans who just come there for help and information in general. I think he's done a wonderful job, and that's evidenced by a lot of the recognition that the organization has received over the years.
We appreciate that. We appreciate you being a member of our organization, and you've added tremendous value to our organization,
Thank you.
not only to our members but anyone that um, tunes into when they tune into this podcast. They're gonna get great
Okay.
information.
Thank you.
Uh, I remember you gave your first class and we went live,
Yeah.
and every person that jumped on stayed on the entire time, and that's hard to do in finances.
Yeah.
That is really hard to do when you're talking about money. And they were asking questions on the on the what was it? I think it was Instagram that we were live on. Yeah, they were
Yes.
asking questions like crazy. It
Right.
was like, oh, like they were really interested in learning the knowledge that you shared. So I want to thank you for giving back your knowledge to, the community all the way around.
Thank you. And the reason why I approach it the way that I do is because finances is kind of overwhelming for most people. However, if you put it in a way that is a way for them to understand, that's not threatening, that invites their questions, so they don't feel like, well, I should know this already. It's always, in my opinion, it's always best to be relatable, especially in a situation where that can be sensitive. People's finances are sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
So, first of all, I want to thank you for your time and your expertise. Truly, truly appreciate it. Before we close out the show, I want to give you the opportunity to speak to the listeners and the watchers. Um, they may be potential entrepreneurs, they might be someone that is interested in finances. Give them some of your good knowledge so we can close out the show. Some good knowledge.
Good knowledge. Good
Yeah.
knowledge. Okay. Purely selfish. This is purely selfish. Have a free consultation with someone who knows how to answer your questions, how to help guide you through some of the things that you need to do. Because never be intimidated when it comes to your finances. Never. I don't care where you are or where you think you are. You should always have that conversation about your finances. Sit down with a professional that can walk you through, answer your questions, and then you'd be more careful. I mean, more prepared. And it's not just being prepared for yourself. A lot of us have sons, we have daughters, we have nieces, we have nephews, and being able to pass that knowledge on to them when they're younger, that is very valuable. That's very valuable. So my last thing is to sit down with someone, ask the questions that you have, see if your path is where you really want to go and want to be on, and then, move on from there.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, before we go,
Mhm.
how do the people get a hold of you? Can you share your socials and website or anything where people can actually get a hold of you?
Okay. As I said before, I'm ASIC Strategies for Life on Instagram. I'm ASIC Strategies for Life on Facebook, and I'm ASIC Strategies.com. Okay, www.asicstrategies.com. But if you get in touch with VGA, right, they can also pass on the information as well.
I love that. Hey, Don, how do people continue to support veterans growing America?
Well, that's an easy question right there. First, I want to pass the ball over to you so they can get in touch with you, and then we could talk a little bit about me.
Absolutely. I definitely don't want to steal their thunder, but I do the same thing. What I do is I simplify finances for people from A to Z. So if you want to talk about budget, you want to talk about protection, you want to talk about leverage, or you don't know where to start. Our language is very intentional to ensure that you get to where you want to be on your financial journey. So you go to yourmoneybook.com and sign up.
Mhm. Yeah.
You can do nothing but win. And plus, both of them are members of VGA. You can find both of them on the Veterans Growing America directory. If you need any type of support or service, please go to our website, veteransgrowingamerica.com, and that can help you with resources. That also can connect you with veterans, military spouses, and dependents that have businesses. And then you could also stop by our store in Woodbridge, Virginia at 14901 Potomac Town Place, Suite 110. In Stonebridge at Potomac Town Center, and come and shop, baby.
Shop, baby.
Baby. Yes.
Again, Avis, thank you for joining us. We are over and out.